If you want to watch every episode of the Stop and Go F1 Retro Review of 1981 right now, you can do so by becoming a Mansell Mustache member. Click the link in the description below. Prince Charming by Adam and the Ants is the #1 single. Raiders of the Lost Ark is still the biggest film in the world. And in the news this week, Roger Hargreaves, the author of the Mr. Men books, has released a new series called Little Miss Books. Well, this reporter can tell you, it's woke madness, I say! Woke madness! Anyway, the first character is called Little Miss Bossy. They got that right, am I right, lads? Am I right? Anyway, it's time for the Italian Grand Prix of 1981! René Arnoux is on pole, but for the first time since the French Grand Prix, it is not a Renault front row lockout, as joint championship leader Carlos Reutemann is in second place as he tries to take back the sole championship lead. Alain Prost is in third with Jacques Lafitte in fourth. Alan Jones is fifth, then Nelson Piquet, the other driver on 45 points and leading the championship, starts this race in sixth.
To green. Arnoux taking the lead from Reutemann in third position, Didier Pironi in fourth place. There is Bruno Giacomelli. The two Renaults are now spreading out across the circuit, and Reutemann is trying to drive, and he is indeed succeeding at driving round the outside of the Renault and up into second place. Terrific performance. Pironi is in fourth place, Lafitte jockeying for position. And as they come down to the second chicane, it's Reutemann in second place, it's Pironi in the Ferrari in third place, and challenging for second, Lafitte weaving, and away goes the Renault, round the first of the Lesmo bend, round the second Lesmo bend, and now down to the Vialoni, the left-hander, and then to Ascari, which is on his way to now, and Jacques Lafitte is really moving that Talbot around, and Pironi challenging for second place, going to try and take, and he's done it. Pironi up into second place, ahead of Carlos Reutemann, down into third position. Then the Renault, Alan Jones is in fourth place, Jacques Lafitte is in fifth place, and there's a roar of excitement and approval from the crowd as they hear that Pironi has moved up into second place, and is he going to be able to challenge the Renault as it comes out of the Parabolica at the end of lap 1 with 52 laps to go. Car number 28, Pironi in second position.
Now, if you're watching the last race, you'll know that René Arnoux went completely missing, but he's making sure that does not happen in the Italian Grand Prix as he now closes in on Didier Pironi for P2.
And the gap between them is, and I will tell you that Lafitte is moving up, Prost completes the lap, and the gap between Alain Prost and Pironi, now Arnoux goes through it in second place, and Carlos Reutemann is having a tremendous scrap for fourth position with Jacques Lafitte, and the gap between Alain Prost in the lead, and now the second place man, René Arnoux, is 4.14 seconds on lap 5. Out of 52.
And despite a fantastic start for Pironi, which saw him jump from 8th to 2nd, it does appear that the Ferrari does not have the pace of the other cars around him today.
The Monza scoreboard, and now Lafitte is going up to take that third position away from Pironi. The gap is 4.9 seconds between Prost the leader and Arnoux in second place.
So it's all going backwards for Didier Pironi's Ferrari, but it could be worse. Let's check in on his Ferrari teammate, Gilles Villeneuve.
Whoops, and one of the Ferraris is blown up by the look of it. That looks Villeneuve. Villeneuve, well, that's turbocharger gone, very spectacular. These turbo cars certainly blow up nicely when they do. There's a little fire in the turbocharger, but it all seems to do well. He seems to be pressing on those going to park it.
Well, Villeneuve had exactly the same thing happen to him in practice, and he just toured in to complete the lap.
But this brings us to a fantastic four-way battle for fourth place. It is Lafitte, Pironi, Piquet and Jones.
Looks to me like Lafitte's losing grip. yes, definitely.
Well, as they go across the line to complete their 52, look at that battle. But leading the two Renaults up into third position now has gone Pironi. In fourth, there is Alan Jones fighting his way through. So it's Reutemann in third position. Alan Jones coming up through the field. There is Pironi and Piquet. So Reutemann is third. Alan Jones coming up very quickly indeed in fourth position. And behind him are Jacques Lafitte and Didier Pironi with a long way to go.
But of course, the question on all of your minds is, where is the drummer from ABBA?
And that is Slim Borgood's ATS, and it has gone off the course, and so has number 26, and that is Jacques Lafitte. Jacques Lafitte then, and that transforms the World Championship.
Look at the rear tire on Jacques Lafitte's car, and that was obviously why he slowed down. It's well, you see the blisters. What happens when the rubber is too soft is that it overheats and it actually bubbles up and blisters like that, and you get less and less grip. And I would think that that was certainly a contributory factor to Lafitte's exit from the circuit in that summary fashion.
Wow, that was a very brief moment of absolute chaos. Well, I hope that nothing else brings chaos upon this race.
Oh, it's raining out on the back of the circuit. It's very wet indeed. So we've got rain down the far end. We're very close to the Parabolica there. It's not raining here yet, but it looks like it's really wet the circuit, and that may well be why those cars are off.
Wait a minute! I took my eyes off René Arnoux, and now he's gone missing again. Has anyone seen René Arnoux?
And that's one of the Renaults off. I can't identify it. It's Arnoux. I can tell from the dark overalls as the driver walks away.
Oh dear, it seems it's adieu to René Arnoux once again. Anyway, you may remember last time out I wrongly criticised the Alfa Romeo car of being faster with a broken front wing than when it was fixed. That was wrong of me, and I do take those comments back. Let's check in on Bruno Giacomelli and his Alfa Romeo to see how they're getting on this week.
Position, and it is lap 16. And then straight through is Reutemann on the inside, with Piquet tucked up right behind him, and Bruno Giacomelli challenging, and Giacomelli is taking the place. Bruno Giacomelli, the young Italian in the V12 new Alfa Romeo, then is up and right up to the head of that batch.
Now, for you Doctor Who fans out there, you may be mourning the loss of Tom Baker as the Doctor, but do not worry, Doctor Who will return in January with brand new Doctor Peter Davidson. Now, in order to promote this new season of Doctor Who, the newly designed Cybermen have been placed at the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. See if you can spot the Cyberman in this clip here.
The end of your race. Nelson Piquet is moving up as well. He's into fourth place now. We've got that little group, and they all bunch up around the wet patch. They're heading down to the Parabolica, right?
And from one legend of Britain to another, let's discuss John Watson. Currently in 6th place, let's go check in on him.
Out of the points at the moment is Carlos Reutemann. There he is, storming along at the back, behind John Watson, who loses it. That's John Watson, and a very nasty one indeed. Torn the whole of the back off the car. And that's a very, very bad one indeed. Let's watch this replay as John Watson loses it and goes backwards into the Armco.
There's a very heavy shunt there. Watson just caught the curb there, and he backed it in absolutely square on, and that's a bit of flame as all the fuel lines. Watson's perfectly all right. He's got out of the car and he's walked away. That was just a flash of fuel as the fuel lines broke, and it was, in fact, the back end of the car came off, and Reutemann, following there, just avoided it. It's a very fine... I don't know whether Reutemann damaged his car on the barrier or not, but he did seem to keep going. And Watson there is in half a car. That's the gearbox unit you see on the left, and Reutemann apparently got through that all right. Alboreto caught the back end of it. He was the second car to arrive on the scene, and has damaged his car, taking evasive action, which is of course a very bad luck for him.
Oh dear, well that's not good. Okay, well now the hopes of Great Britain lay with Sir Nigel Mansell of Birmingham. Let's go check in on our moustached maestro. unfortunately, he's turned invisible. Thoughts and prayers to his family at this very difficult time. Let's go look now at our top three. Prost is leading this race and has led every single lap. Jones is in second, but incredibly, it is Bruno Giacomelli who is in third place. This year, he hasn't finished higher than 9th, but he's doing fantastically in this race. Let's go check in on him.
And into the pits comes Giacomelli. Well, the man who was in third place. I've said this before this season, but it's beginning to look as though we're going to have very few cars finish the Italian Grand Prix because Giacomelli is effectively out of the running. That puts Carlos Reutemann up another place, and the positions on lap 27, which is the one that we're on now, confirm that Alain Prost is leading from Alan Jones, with Nelson Piquet in third position. Up into third position has gone Nelson Piquet.
So let's go have a look at our joint championship leader, Carlos Reutemann. Now, he did tap the wall ever so slightly before while trying to avoid John Watson, but that doesn't seem to have slowed him down as he's now chasing Didier Pironi.
Well, watching the battle for fourth position then between Reutemann, who's going to come out of Pironi's slipstream, I think, as they come down the Parabolica and try and take that fourth position away from the Frenchman in the Italian Ferrari. But he won't get round the outside of Didier Pironi. Not there, or if he does, it's going to be absolutely superhuman driving. Meantime, Piquet is just about the length of the straight that Pironi and Reutemann have entered now, ahead of these two. Pironi goes through and completes his 37th lap in this 52-lap race, still in fourth position. Reutemann comes up to him again. It's obvious that the Williams, as we well know, handles much better than the Ferrari, and he closes right up as they go through the lefts and rights of the Rettificio, up now towards the Roggia as they go round the Curva Grande, that very famous fourth gear corner, and it's 160 miles an hour here, and now Reutemann's going to try and get through on braking, and he's done it. Reutemann takes fourth position on lap 38 from Didier Pironi, and if he can pull out a gap, and he's doing it already as they go into the Lesmo bends, if he can pull out a gap, Pironi won't be able to do anything about it as they go down to the Parabolica. Reflex.
Yes, Reutemann just doing a classic out-braking manoeuvre. He's been noticeable how he's been closing up on the Ferrari under-braking every time. The Ferrari, honestly, it's sad to say with such a fine pedigree and that great name, but it really is a bit of a tank. But it's got this magnificent engine with a great deal of power, and its performances really have depended entirely on that.
And now we enter the final lap of this race. Alain Prost is leading with Alan Jones in second place, but it's Nelson Piquet in third we need to keep an eye on, because this result would make him the sole championship leader of 1981, becoming the championship leader for the first time since the Italian Grand Prix of last year.
Really is going down to the last race of the year, and who is that? It looked like Piquet from the back, the red helmet, and it's Reutemann gaining. There's an engine explosion, and it's Piquet. It is Piquet. On the very last lap, Reutemann takes that third position from Nelson Piquet. Tremendous drama, and Carlos Reutemann has held his position in the World Championship. And Nelson Piquet, can he finish the last lap? What enormous drama. We're looking, of course, at the Brazilian in the Brabham, and he's obviously got no motive power, and he's touring off.
And as Piquet pulls off there, we see the Cyberman waiting for him in order to convert Piquet into a Cyberman. Emotionless, lacking personality and empathy, Nelson Piquet should fit in rather well. And as we cross the line, it's Prost who wins from Alan Jones in second, and it will now be Carlos Reutemann who completes the podium and takes the sole championship lead, despite the fact that he hit the wall earlier trying to avoid John Watson's crash, and he sets a brand new Formula 1 record with his 44th career podium, taking the record for most podiums from Jackie Stewart. Elio De Angelis is in fourth, Pironi comes home in fifth at Ferrari's home race, but who will get the final points of the day? Well, this is very interesting. We have been handed a note here. We had 24 drivers at the start of this race. 15 of them have DNF'd, and then 3 of them have been lapped, which leaves only 6 drivers who actually made it to the final lap. So whoever is that 6th driver has got the final point of the day, but we're not quite sure who it is. I've just been given another note. The 6th driver is... No. Oh my god. It's the amazing Andrea de Cesaris! Despite everything, the rain, the crashes, the drama, everything, de Cesaris survived. He kept going through it all. He didn't get lapped. He stayed in contention. He stayed in 6th place. And today, at the Italian Grand Prix, the amazing Andrea de Cesaris has doubled his points in the season.
The amazing Andrea de Cesaris.
Snatching 3rd place as Nelson Piquet retired on the very last lap. 4th at the end, Elio De Angelis ahead of Didier Pironi, with Piquet being classified 6th and Brian Hinton 10th in the Toleman.
God damn it! So, the final point actually goes to Piquet because no one knows where de Cesaris actually is. That was the Italian Grand Prix. We'll see you next time. It's the penultimate race of the season. It's in Canada. We'll see you there.